Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
I'll actually show you just while we're waiting for another alert here. So AIRO version 4, you'll notice that there's version 3.1 and version 4. The version 4 that's been released so far is actually just an enhanced upgrade to the indicator itself. The dashboard that you've seen myself and CB use on a couple occasions, that is still in development. We're testing it to make sure that there's no bugs in there that affect the performance of the system itself. So as of the last little bit, it's been really good. Performance-wise, version 4 has enhancements that limit the amount of processing power that it uses. Give me just a moment here. Sorry, the wife is telling me. Anyway, the challenges of working from home, my friends. Let's go check this out here. Let's go see if we got some nice trade setups. Oh, to adjust your
money zone.
Your money zone, yeah.
Yeah, I think you still need to do that. If you had to in version 3.1, version 3, then yeah, you would also need to do it in 4. I don't think that's changed for those that do need to tweak the money zone.
Let's go find out. Let's see. We were looking at the pound CAD this morning.
Yep.
I don't have my oh, that's great. Check this out. I'm missing some. For some reason, it looks like they fell off. That's odd.
Oh yeah, look at that. Huh.
Yeah.
Were you changing accounts? Like when you on the last call you were talking about going from one of your demo accounts to another one or something? Because that could be.
Yeah, I did.
That could cause it sometimes.
Yeah. I'm gonna see. But I reloaded all the charts based on the new feed, so
got it.
I'm surprised. You see it says .pro now, so yep. Some of these are not loading properly. And I'm not.
I'm on. Oh. I got .pros and they're all fully loaded. I got like 32 charts.
Oh, that's weird. So. Okay, sorry guys. Give me a sec.
I'll just so you know that it can work.
Yeah.
Looking at while you're doing that, looking at GCAD, it's real wicky right now. It's kind of ranging with lots of big wicks.
Lots of hesitation.
Lots of hesitation, exactly. Lots of fighting going on right now.
All right, let me see if I can find out why this is being okay. There we go. That's working better.
Yep.
There's something with Netrios. I don't even know what that is. I originally opened up another account and I don't know why Netrios is showing up, and it seems to be causing some issues. So let's see if we got some potential. Oh, it was slow this morning for you, Curtis? The version 4? Okay, I'll note that down. Was there a specific time or was it? just send me your Auvoria Prime username. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, if Nate already has yours, then it's fine. Don't worry about it. Perfect. See if we can get a nice setup here. I don't got any alerts yet. I was anticipating getting one at in the next 6 minutes here. Getting a couple funky errors.
It was fun scalping the indices with Jackie yesterday, wasn't it, Matt?
Oh man, you know what? I absolutely enjoyed it. Jackie brings so much value.
Yep.
Yeah, she's such a dear friend. I haven't known her very long, but she's yeah,
Smart
she's
lady.
good. Oh, she's good. She's exceptional.
Yeah.
I've learned so much from her. Okay, during London session. Let's go check this out real quick. I've got to step away for like literally a minute and a half. So give me just a sec. Do you want me to stop sharing my screen for a sec and I'll be right back?
Okay.
Okay.
You might have to get, if you want me to share, can you give me permission? All right, it looks like I can do it.
Yep, I already gave you permission.
Okay.
All right, give me a sec.
So while we wait for Matt, just let me know, anybody, if you want to look at any of the charts. A little slow right now, waiting for some alerts. As you can see, I have a lot of charts open, and this with version 3.1, when I had it like this, I would get all sorts of lag to the point where it was not usable. And I know that for most of us, we've been seeing a significant improvement here, and I can say for this entire week, when I have what I think I have 32 charts open right now, and again, I wouldn't even try to do this previously, but now it's working pretty good. Occasionally I get a little lag as it reloads all of these charts when I tile them like they are now, but man, it's so much improved with the changes they made. Version 4. If anybody does want to check out any chart, just put it in the Q&A. I'll get to that quicker. Right now, I can't see the chat. So if you do want to check out a chart while we're waiting for alerts, just put it in the Q&A, please. Gold. All right. Of course, one chart that I closed, but I will open it and we'll take a look. What time frame for gold, Linda, were you thinking? Are you looking at further out than the 5 minute? Because I don't see much on the 5 minute here right now. We are certainly in a downtrend.
All right, I'm back.
All right, we're just checking out gold here real quick. Let's see, 15 minute, Linda. Okay. Typically, we trade gold on the 5 minute, just for the record. I mean, that's Nate's recommendations. Obviously, we're digging into a support zone here, and it is on the 15 minute an uptrend. So if it breaks through this resistance, you know, could be an interesting counter trade, I would say, but because we're still in that time frame, but I don't see too much here, Matt.
Nah, man, that's
MA,
that's a
yeah,
hard pass for me. It's just
yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm not taking a trade into a zone, especially on gold. You know,
right,
it's
right,
we don't need to force trades.
yeah, agreed.
Like if it goes great. But give me
Yeah,
just a sec here.
yeah.
Let's see
The
if I
key lender,
can.
even though, you know, it could break through this zone and continue down. Oh, got a couple alerts here.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a counter trend, and look at how gold's been ranging for a long time. So let's take a look at these two others. Kiwi Swiss. I'm going to go back to this. This is the only time that I notice still little lag is when I have so many charts open and an alert. It sometimes is a little slow
Kind of gets
reloading.
bogged down a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, not
Oh,
too
here.
bad. Not too bad though. It you know, gets I mean again, compared to what we used to deal with, this is nothing.
Oh yeah, no, it's
So,
pretty negligible. That's not a bad deal. You know,
yeah.
there was a day and age where we used to dial into the internet via dial-up. So
Yeah,
we need
yeah,
a couple
right.
seconds to load some charts. Come on now.
All right, folks. So looking at NAS Swiss here, down arrow. We
Oh,
are
NAS Swiss.
NAS Swiss.
NZD, right? A Kiwi?
Kiwi Swiss. So it's a slight upward trend with a downward arrow going right into a zone. So that's a hard pass. And then we got the Aussie Swiss as well, right there. Similar type of look. Downward arrow, upward trend, right into support. So no trades there, Matthew.
No, but if you do get up arrow on this would be a beautiful one.
Yep, we could have a bounce
This
there over
could
here for sure.
this could play nicely.
Yep, you got the arrow MA way above the 200s, so that's good.
Yeah, significantly.
Yep, and we're already sort of seeing a bounce here, so we'll keep our eye on this.
People are people are asking about NAS.
So we'll look at NAS. I will tell you, you know, one good rule we've learned with working with Jackie is we don't touch the indices until about 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But
Bingo! Right after the market opens and makes its initial move,
yep, but
then we look for that setup. But before that,
take a peek and see what we're looking at. I don't have the Dow open just because not comfortable with that one, but I certainly have the NAS and the S&P. So let's take a quick look.
yeah, I don't touch
so
the Dow. The Dow is just a monster.
yeah, exactly. So you can see we're just been ranging here for a while. I think just obviously waiting for the market to open, basically. See what the yeah. So it's been in a little bit of a downward trend on the short term.
Al, I brought you over, eh? You're
Yep,
in
I
here
see
as a
that.
panelist. All right,
Yep,
perfect.
I'm here for support. I'll just stay quiet unless you call on me. How's that?
You're all good, man. Just really really appreciate you and everything you bring to the table, my friend. So
Hey, Matt, I'm going to pass it back over to you. I actually just have someone at my door here. I got to go let them in real quick.
okay, no, you're fine. Let me drive for a bit.
There you go.
Cool. There we go. You should see my setup here. Good old AIRO. Looking for another setup here. Let's see. Oh, it's that Netrios one that keeps on giving me trouble. Hold on, guys. Just a sec. I'm gonna see what happened here. MT4 crashed. Indices are generally going to be traded on the 5-minute time frame and the 1 hour. So depending if you want to take a swing trade on the indices, please just make sure that you do the math first and make sure that you're able to handle the swings, right? No, the fractals don't come as part of version 4. Nate wants to keep it as simple as possible. He wants to keep the system as simple as possible. And if you want to add fractals, then you can just add it. For the sake of sanity and stuff, and I don't want to miss any of your questions or anything. If you see something or whatnot, put it in the Q&A section, and that way we can make sure we address your question without it disappearing in the chat. All right.
I'm back.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, I just had to let someone in.
That's not hard. So we got indices are traded on the 5 and 1 hour. So 5 minute, 1 hour generally. What do we got? Gold on the 1 hour. What we already didn't we just go over gold? That there were...
Yeah, we did. We did. I did not. I don't know that I really looked at it on the 1 hour though. So.
Oh, okay. Let's
I was more looking at the 5 minute, I think.
Okay, let me go see this real quick here. I went upstairs to get my coffee, and then I came back down without my coffee. And this is because my 7-month-old smiled at me, and I got distracted.
So, Pia, while he's doing that, I'm looking at GCAT on the 15 minute. Are you asking about that because you are in it on a long position and it's retraced on you, or what's your question? Because we don't have any arrows and certainly no trade to take right now. Are you asking because you're in a trade currently?
So Andre, your version 4, it should automatically populate exactly where your money zone is. Now there are some potential adjustments that may have to be done. So this is the official money zone. And then boom, that's where you can adjust it based on your time frame. So as you bring it over. So here's the H1. We got an arrow down into the zone. I'm not taking that. I have no appetite to take a down arrow, even though it's downward pressure. It's a downtrend, very strong downtrend. Now someone else could take potentially that down because it's a bounce arrow, but there's a green zone, so that's a no-go for me.
Hey, Matt. So
Yes,
so we got iPhone user brought up a good trade. We're a little late on it, but the pound kiwi it's a second arrow valid bag entry with room still. It's retracing on us a little bit right now, but still worth looking at.
Oh gosh, what in the...
You got two charts going at the same time there.
No, I'm serious. I've never seen that.
That's crazy. Yeah.
This is insane. Okay, hold on. We're going to change time frame. Okay, it disappeared. Good.
Yeah, there you go.
Ay. All right. Was it 15 or 30 minutes? Sorry. 15. Yeah, look at this, guys.
Yep.
And then we're in a stronger, what are we up? Are we in an uptrend? No.
It's
middle
neither.
zones.
Yeah, neither. Equal zones. So yeah, not our favorite trade.
But
there is 50 pips and there's still room to go up.
Yeah.
For those
So
that
let's
would-
see. I'm gonna
Yeah.
open up my trading view, see if we can have a little bit of insight into what could potentially happen here. And then I'll show you how to add the. So super easy, guys. If you want to add an indicator to your charts, you add indicators. And for Bill Williams fractals, all you do, excuse me, I had to mute myself. Fractals, you just click there and click OK. It's not rocket science. And you can do that for anything else. So let's go take a quick look. I was going to show you some trading view stuff just real quick so that we can maybe have an idea of what gold is doing. And then maybe we can go take Bitcoin there. I think I saw a message about Bitcoin. So gold's on let's see. Yeah, so I'd only be looking for shorts in gold. Yes, Chris, you're absolutely correct. That's a very good observation, and that is something that we're going to address with Nate. With the because I've never experienced that before until now, where I had double charts come up. That was really odd, man. It feels like it's there again, but we'll see. What was the other one we were going to look at? Sorry, man.
Pound kiwi, I think it was. Let me just.
Yeah, it was
confirm.
pound kiwi. Yeah, you're right.
Pound
You're
kiwi.
right. I got a little distracted with the questions there.
No worries.
So we're in a uptrend based on a couple fun things.
And just while you're doing that, just to quickly address the question about the pound yen, you're right. There's still it's still sitting at that downward arrow, but that would be a counter trend trade, and there's the 200 moving averages that are in the way. So I wouldn't take that trade right now. We were
Dr.
looking at
Cap's
that
got double.
Yeah,
got them
we
double
got a really
charts too.
nice information for the pound yen, but I would wait on that one.
That is the pound kiwi is not a bad trade. That pullback gave you an opportunity to get in. So it's let's go check this out. Pound kiwi one more time here. So we talk about fractals every once in a while, and just to get it very clear here, this is a beautiful fractal low.
Yep.
So a fractal is a 5 candle formation. It'll be this one, this one, this one, kind of like the middle finger on your hand. And then you got your ring finger and then your pinky. So this is not confirmed until the 5th candle here. So where that trade showed up, where the arrow is, that's beautiful. This is a little bit late for me, for my liking, but there is still room to that zone.
Don, pound kiwi is the GBP CHF, or I'm sorry, NZD. So GBP NZD. So pound is Great Britain and kiwi is New Zealand.
Yeah, I met a person from New Zealand, and she's like, "Yeah, us Kiwis, we're special." And I'm like, "I didn't know you guys actually called yourself Kiwis." Yeah, it was an interesting thing. Valdez, I use the premium version of TradingView, but Pro Plus is more than significant, more than enough for the average person. I do have a way of getting it a significant discount for people. So If you want to know how to do that, then just let me know. I won't talk too much more about that.
New York stock market's about to open.
All right, let's look for a blast. Whatever's going to happen. It's probably this one's not going to probably move. This is one of the big movers in the Forex world, though, is the pound Kiwi. Let's see if we get a nice move on gold here. Tucker, so version 3.1 and version 4, they get automatically pushed to your VPS. What I would do is I would make sure that you clicked on there's a portion here on your VPS for Windows Update. I'd make sure that you double click there and make sure that your Windows updates are all performed so that it's operating at peak efficiency. Oh, see, I've got 2 important updates. I'm not going to do this while we're on the call because it takes a little while to update, but the last time I updated was March 5th. And then you can just reboot and it should be fine.
Matt, take a look at Kiwi CAD.
Okay.
Just got an alert on it.
Kiwi CAD.
I already know what you're going to say, but it's worth looking at.
Well,
unless you have a double chart. If you have a double chart, then it's going to be really tough to look at it.
Yeah, it is a double chart, man. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back and forth.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we're down. Second arrow.
See that M? See that M formation right there in the middle?
Mm-hmm. Kiwi CAD. And check this out. Make one final confirmation. Yeah, I'm actually comfortable taking that to the best of my analysis on this. You know, you got your downtrend, you got your arrow.
Yep.
This is not as this is cut and dry, right?
Yep. Nothing in the way on the M5. Not that that is something we always have to look at, but it's a nice confirmation. There's
Agreed. Oh, and here's a little trick for you guys. One-click trading. So depending on what you're doing. So make sure you do your right lot size, guys. Don't over leverage your account. Understand what your risk in trade is, what your stop loss is. Super critical, right? So let's do that for now. Now let's go. And then I'll show you a little trick when it comes to, oh, actually, sorry, that didn't work. There we go. So modify order. Yeah, I don't like the grid. The grid drives me crazy, Mark. Give me just a sec. So I'm going to finish our train of thought. So basically your main stop loss and the stop loss that you're going to calculate your risk on, as a rule of thumb, is going to be 40 pips or 400 points. And it's going to be 200 points or 20 pip take profit. You might get a little bit of heat on this as it kind of cycles down, but I like this trade. It's a second arrow, so I'm almost tempted to only take it for 10 because it's a second arrow.
Yeah, it's also a little tight too, so that resistance is only like 21 pips away.
You know what? That's a great observation. Let's modify that. Put 100 instead. I'm not a fan of second arrows, more or less, but this is too good to kind of pass up, in my opinion. All right, let's go check this out. We're already in profit. 1 pip. We'll see what's up. Let's go see the good old Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been on been making some moves in the last little bit. So let's go check this out. What do we got? That Bitcoin, the special one, man. Yeah, it does, Anne, actually. So as Bitcoin gets more, well, let's just say more traction in the investment world, people are starting to actually big financial institutions and people are starting to move their assets into Bitcoin, kind of like gold. So it's becoming very mainstream. Now, a couple years back, that's not the case, but there is a correlation between the Bitcoin and the gold. Let's go check it out. Sorry, I had to add that to my charts. This is a new account here, so. And I think I saw it was Control G. Yeah, Control G for the grid. So we're in an uptrend. That's the second arrow. This is on the 1 hour. That's a nice wedge here. That's a very nice wedge. It's actually forming another wedge on the hourly, bouncing off the 1 hour arrow moving average. Let's go see. 1 hour is an uptrend. The 15 is in a downtrend, but on Bitcoin, we're taking it down to the 5 as a general rule of thumb. Very powerful trend line right here. I'm just going to draw that real quick so you guys can see it. I don't want to, right here. Did I ever mention how much I don't like MetaTrader 4?
Yes, you have.
Okay. Here. So we saw the setup with AIRO. Let's go to Bitcoin. All right. So here's on the 30-minute. Just so you guys can have an idea. This is what I was trying to do on MetaTrader 4. I was trying to show where there's a potential wedge setup here, where you had a rally, and it's kind of forming its base here. So if it does break, it could be a nice move to the upside or downside. So whenever it breaks out of this formation, then you might have a potential trade. So this is a very, very conservative target, and I'll show you why I did that target there. So here's an old wedge, but if you take the stick and you draw it from the bottom to the top of the wedge and you put it at the break of the wedge, it has a very high probability of going the length of that stick. So the same story. Oop. Same story here. So we have that, and then we had that. And then once it broke out, it has a high probability. It's not always going to get there, but most of the time it will. Good to know. Good to know. All right, let's Let's drop that down. Let's wait for another alert.
I'm going to be
Should get one.
watching the indexes a little bit, Matt, on the 5 and 1. They're both the NAS and S&P would be potential scalp trading on going down. Right now it's moving up, both of them to a resistance where we might get a bounce a little later. So Andre, if you're trying to close a trade, probably the easiest way is right down in the bottom where the terminal that shows the trade. There's a little X next to the profit or loss that you can click on. That'll close the trade immediately. If you see on Matt's screen right now where you see the profit, there's a little X next to it. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, you can close that trade out or whatever.
Matt, I think we kind of lost you, your mic
Oh,
there.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, now we got you.
No, it's fine. Let me check this. Well, we're getting some heat on this one. Wedge training. Not a whole bunch of rocket science, just stuff that myself and Al, have been doing for the last couple months actually, with Auvoria Prime on the Hawkeye session. That's right before this one. We do a lot of different. We use AIRO as the baseline, but we do take into consideration other aspects of manual trading. So we like to do a lot of wedges and other technical things, a lot of trend lines. We found that with AIRO, when you combine other confirmations, it just helps a lot. Brings a new level of confirmation. Let me try something here. Jackie's really got me interested into learning how to scalp the NAS and S&P.
Yep.
Really interested in that.
I continued yesterday afternoon. I had 4 more wins on the 1 minutes.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Nice.
Just little pipping and dipping, 10 pips.
Good.
8 to 10 pip trades. I just was in and out. Most of the trades lasted less than 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah, so we would be potentially looking for a short on the S&P.
Yeah, SP
on
and
both,
NAS.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for it to go up a little bit, up to that resistance there.
Yeah, I'm gonna zoom this in a little bit so I can show you guys something. But here, actually, I'm not gonna do it on MT4. How about that? Let's do it on TradingView, just because it's gonna take 2 seconds, where on MT4 it's gonna take me like 10 minutes. I'm kidding. But here, if we look at this, we got this is on the 15 minutes, so it's a little different time frame. But you got a nice little wedge here. I'm going to bring it down to the 5 so you can see it. Here's your wedge breakout of the top. So this potential reversal where we would be looking for a short may happen around this point here. So if we go down to the 5, I'm just setting up. I actually really like it for a short.
Yep.
I really like it. Let's see if we got a confirmation maybe that we can use on. What if we? I'm gonna drop mine to the 1 minute. How about that? And then, oh, that's funky. All right, that's better. Hey, CB, I need to go bring the kids downstairs.
Okay.
Because the wife's going to a client's house. So I need to stop for like 2-3 minutes, and then I will be right back down. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yes, sir.
Think so. That's Variable yelling at me. So somebody mentioned the US 30. I'm not really trading that yet, but let's open it up. Take a look.
Someone just asked, what is that red stripe? I'm not sure what red stripe they're talking about.
30.
You're talking about the red stripe on all the charts? Is that sis?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Just bringing up the US 30 here. Yep. It hit that resistance and it bounced hard off of that, huh? Now it's playing around at the 200 here. Yeah, this is US 30 is one of Jackie's favorites. It's such a fast mover, and your entries and your drawdown is crazy in this one. I'm still taking my time with the NAS and the S&P. Personally, we did have a upward arrow that bounced right off resistance, so we're not, there's no trade here right now, but this is what we're hoping to see from the other guys. It's just kind of go back to NAS here. Yeah, so NAS is dipped way down into support right now. So
We're looking at a strong dollar right now. So that's expect the indexes to go short a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, pushing it down. You said strong dollar?
Strong dollar right now, yeah.
Yeah, you would think that would push the NAS up, wouldn't it? Or no, that's gonna bring it down.
I usually find I find it to be just the opposite of what I would normally think.
Yeah.
And the only way I can conclude that is that the dollar is stronger. It makes the exports more expensive. The exports more expensive, less manufacturing is being sold overseas. So I guess that's the way I think about it. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's my way of rationalizing what seems to be the case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, S&P and NAS are both playing with the support area right now, so we'll see if they bounce for us. Both in the short term are in downtrends.
And say if we get an alert, we should probably trade to the strength of the dollar as opposed to, say, for example, the Aussie or New Zealand. If we get a U.S. Aussie or U.S. New Zealand, or even a U.S. British, I'd be looking at trading that to the strength of the dollar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually have a few charts closed right now, Al. So everyone listening in, if you see anything interesting here at the top of the hour, if Matt's not back, let me know.
Okay, I'll watch the chat box and see what the questions are.
Okay. Yeah, we got some Cryptos and the indexes are sort of ranging right now, trying to figure out what they're going to do.
So you're talking about the red and green zones on the charts, or are we talking? I'm not sure what red stripe you're talking about. He's talking about what is the red stripe, and I'm not so sure. The only red stripe I know is that I'm looking at ever see is that those red zones, that red and green zones, and that's just basically what's being generated by the software.
Yeah, red stripe. I don't know if he's referring to the 200 moving average. Mine's pink, more of a pinkish color on my
Yeah.
chart. I think Matt's
Was
red.
Matt's red?
It might, I'm not positive. I know it might be.
Okay, if that's the case, that's the 200 moving average. That may be what you're talking about.
Yeah, the 200 moving average is a necessary indicator for the market maker strategy. So strategy number 9. So a lot of charts you'll see now has it. And I've begun to use it just as another point often of resistance or support, as well as just additional confirmation to get into a trade. Would you agree, Al?
Yeah, and I there's another one. Yeah, primarily the 200 is the one that Nate uses. There's some others that we use in the Hawkeye session. We'll be looking at, I think, the 62. It serves the same purpose, only just a little bit faster is all. And those are all exponential moving averages. That's all they really are.
So George, as far as the this call yesterday, I think it's available now. I'm not positive. It usually takes 24 hours for it to get loaded up. But yeah, it should, once it's available, it should be on YouTube, I believe, right, Al? These calls.
Yeah, and you can access those by the Telegram channel of the if you're on with the Hawkeye Telegram channel, you should get the updates on that channel. That's where most of the updates you'll find come through.
Yep.
There's the official Hawkeye channel, and they'll load the YouTubes up there. Yeah, usually probably within 12 hours or so, you usually see them in there.
Just keeping my eye on these indexes. Not a lot happening right now.
No, it's kind of going up and down, right?
Kind of slow for a Thursday.
Yeah, the indexes, Matt, they made a bit of an upward move at the open, and then they kind of settled right back to where they were prior to the open, and now they're just sort of both the NAS and S&P anyway are sitting sort of down there. Someone pointed out the scary Dow. I'll just bring it up. That's been moving a bit more. But
yeah. I should have.
This one and the Dow is actually on an uptrend on the M5. So
Interesting. I'm gonna have to step away for a couple more minutes. I do apologize for that, but I'll be back as soon as I can.
Okay.
And I'll continue on from there.
It was interesting that NZD CAD I don't have in my symbols list.
You don't?
Nope. I had noticed that. I mean, I've noticed that before, and I thought, why am I not seeing it? And I looked again. It's not in the symbols list with the broker that I use.
You go to view symbols, and you can't make it.
Nope, it's not there.
Huh. Which is that with your? That's not with Envy, obviously, right?
No, that's with LCMFX, yeah. And I've noticed that before, as I come to think about it.
Let me see here.
So if you don't have it, don't be surprised if you're trading with the same broker that I am if you didn't see it.
So NZD CAD is, oh yeah, and this was this I think this is the trade that Matt were in.
Yeah, yeah, you took that long, I believe.
Short.
But you took it short? Okay, then you're in the right spot then.
Yeah, we took this down. I didn't get into it, but We
I do believe Matt took that one.
Yep. Yep. This is a definite downtrend, and anyone that's in it, you should be pretty happy right now.
Yeah, that should be a nice little trade. Looks like you have a nice big wick on the left hand, a nice big long extended range candle on the left,
Yep.
way to the left. Yesterday's candle, and there's no wicks at all on that whole 15-minute candle area. So it's going to go down and probably retest that green zone that it started at.
Yeah, I know we Matt, I think, was going just for 10 pips, which he may have just hit.
Let me go check real quick since I was in.
Yeah, I think you just made money there.
Yeah, probably did. That's perfect then. I am actually I don't do a lot of these, and I don't do SMP. But I'm really looking forward to a nice sell in the next couple minutes.
Which one? The S&P?
Yeah, like
if
it.
And hey, just before we go to that, are you out of your NASCAD trade?
Oh, NZD. Oh, the Kiwi CAD. Let me go check the other account here. I've got.
Yeah, because I think.
Oh yeah, no, I'm out. Yeah. I made
10 pips.
Yep. Made my target.
There you go.
Happy camper. We had the fractal. We had a nice clean bounce. Everything was perfect. So it was a no-brainer. I'm fine with 10 pips, guys, because some people would have made 20 pips. It is what it is. Look for a sell on S&P 500 on the one. It's going to be pretty fast. Right now, it's pulling back, kind of like a little slingshot there.
You want to take it back over?
I've got to run out and run an errand real quick, but
okay.
I just wanted to say, like, really check it for a potential sell. You see how it's coming up there?
Yep.
You may get a fractal. It may hit that zone. No, that's not the arrow you want.
That it just said a buy, so it's
that's a great sign.
Yeah,
that's a great sign. That's what we want, right?
Yeah. Now again, we're not going to take it until we get a downward arrow, which means it's got to get below the arrow MA. So.
And then what? Take it for what? What was Jackie doing? 20 pips? Was she doing or?
Yeah. I mean, this thing moves so fast. I mean, yeah, I think it was 20. I mean, in this case, if I get one, I'll just put my stop loss right above the resistance
that
here.
Zone, yeah.
There's no support, so
there's nothing down there.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. All right. Yeah, and I see it going down from a longer, higher time frame perspective. So
and you see the support on the M15. So if I
but we'll see. Yeah, because you're way up there, right?
So there's a spot right there. Maybe even a little earlier than that if we get one here. This is nice formation though.
It is. It looks like that fractal's not confirmed until this current candle closes.
Yeah.
So anyway, I need to go, and I will be right back momentarily. And I am not in NZD CAD anymore. That trade is closed, and I have no appetite to say, "Hey, great entry, go ahead," because the move's pretty much done in my opinion. There, that will be chasing the trade, and that will get you burned.
You're talking about the GCAD or the
Kiwi CAD.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. You don't want to get burned.
I need to retrace my statement. I did find it on my charts.
Oh, there we go. All right. I'll be back a couple minutes.
Okay.
Later, guys.
Is there anything you want to talk about, Al, while I'm kind of watching this here?
No, I've just kind of keep an eye on the chat box and the question answer box.
Okay.
Say that the British USD is doing the same thing as the NZD CAD. Let's take a look. We may take a look at that.
This and the S&P here has a little while to go here. It's got some work to do before we would look to take this. Look over at the NAS. Yeah, no, this is 1 minute. For those of you that were not on Jackie's call yesterday, this is sort of what we did, is we started to, when things are slow like this, and even the M5 is a little slow, we started looking at quick scalps on the 1 minute time frame. Now this can be pretty crazy. So those of you that are real new, you may just want to kind of either do it in demo or watch and not get in necessarily, but we'll see here. We're still, both of them are still a little ways away though.
There's an Aussie Swiss alert. Let's take a look at that one.
Okay, yep, and I got a euro pound alert. Take a look at
Aussie Swiss.
yep.
Looks like it's pretty much already at the green zone. Let's see what kind of trend it's in.
Yep.
Looks like it's
So
in an uptrend with a down arrow.
Yep. And euro, the
That's
euro
right there.
pound is in a downtrend with an up arrow and no bounce.
Well, we are getting a bounce, but it's on the Aussie Swiss.
Aussie Swiss.
It bounced right off of a zone.
Mhm.
So that was a little while ago, though. That was like 30.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get that one just now. So
No, I thought it must have been an old one.
yeah.
I'll take these things
Yeah,
off.
we had looked at this because I have an up arrow here. So we had been talking about this pair here as a potential bounce arrow go. So if we get a little more upward movement here and we get this price above the arrow moving average, we may get an up arrow here, which would be nice trade. Is it all green? Yep. All green with nothing in the way. A little resistance on the 1 hour, but that's probably pretty far away. Yeah. So what I would do is we got 24 pips there. So go back to the 15-minute. And so there is a 1 hour resistance level right there. So we'll see.
Still inside a sideways money zone.
Yep. Yeah, one of the nice things, Al, about the dashboard that we'll be getting hopefully sooner than later is it shows for each pair, each asset, the average daily range on the dashboard. So, it gives you a feel, and it actually changes. It goes from green when there's still a lot of potential movement left for the day, because, we haven't had a lot of range like this one. And then as you start to get closer to the average daily range, it turns yellow. And then when you're right there or beyond the average daily range for that day, it goes red. So you kind of get an indication of how much movement.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't definitively tell you not to get into a trade or get into a trade, but it is nice to know.
It gives that extra information that's oftentimes a nice little deal breaker when it comes to when you decide what to do with the trade.
Right. Yeah, so this Aussie Swiss has a little potential.
Yeah, if it can turn around and give us an up arrow, it might have some room to the upside.
We got to sell on NASDAQ. Let's see here. I did, but it didn't bounce off of anything. So just kind of ranging, lots of big wicks, not touching that. That right there is a coin flip. Who knows? Look at how fast that price is moving right now. So Barb, to your question about tiling the windows like that, if you can see my screen, this little box right here next to the magnifying glasses, you just click on that, and based on how many windows, I'm sorry, how many charts you have, it'll just auto tile it for you. And if you have fewer windows open and you want them set up a certain way, you can go to Window, I believe, and over here, this is the regular tile windows, but then you can cascade them. You can tile them horizontally, vertically, etc.
All those little tricks.
So here we go. Now the S&P is moving like a madman right now. We do have support down here now, but no arrow. This is the 1 minute, folks. So this is pretty intense trading, but if we got an arrow on this wick, it is a potential entry. Pretty good downtrend. What do you think of this one, Al?
So we're in a downtrend. We're below the moving averages. Everything's in the right direction there.
Oof. Tell you though, it is moving hard. Yesterday when we were doing this, we were not getting such crazy movement on the candles, I gotta say.
Yeah, I've kind of stayed away from these indexes for the last several weeks, and
yeah,
I've taken a couple of them, but they've got to be pretty much. I have to call it like a no-brainer, and I'm not sure what the definition of that is, but
yeah. And I'm pretty confident you were not taking them on the 1 minute.
No, I would probably was not taking them on the 1 minute.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, during this call, the New York session, you know, obviously lots of days, the Forex pairs have already made their moves during the London session. So, you know, we're trying to find other assets, other ways for us to get into some trades and make some money on this call. So I'm certainly looking more and more at these indexes as potential ways to, you know, scalp some trades. We just had you see that the fractal that was just formed here it's not a definitive thing, but that's not necessarily a good sign right now for the downside. But
right now you have a little bit of a range between the up fractal and the down fractal. The last two fractals, you have that almost forms a little boxing, and I would be looking at some zones on either side of that to the price.
Oh, you see how it just knocked that fractal out, Al, by the way?
Yep.
So
yep, and that's what you were saying yesterday, where you've got to have a 5 candle formation before the fractal will stay there.
Exactly. You can obviously see it a lot easier on this 1 minute.
So unless you have 2 candles that closed on either side of where those fractals are, the fractal's still up. Oh, there you go.
There it is.
That's
but I will tell you, so I am not comfortable enough to take this based on how much momentum was on that candle. And you can see it's already moving back away. This is moving a lot faster today than it was yesterday. So I'm going to observe it. You know, Al, if Jackie was on the call with us, I'm guessing she would not be comfortable with it because we're so close to
How
this.
much room do you have to the top of that green? I bet that's going to hit that green. I can just see, by the way, the strong extended range candle, small little pullback, and then there's your 13 pips. You would get your $5 out of that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to hit that.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do a little pond, as she says. Let me.
Because you have that little bit of a wick over wick. That's a doji candle right there that just formed. I think it's got pushed to the downside. I can even see like your RSIs are coming out of that 40-60 range. This thing's going to go down. And you got room to the downside on this one.
So I took it. I'm going to just real quickly put my stop loss just in case above the 200. See, it's going against me right now. And there it is. And I just made $1.
There it is.
There's scalp trading, folks, and I was
Just
not
by the
comfortable.
way, if you take a look at that candle where the arrow was generated, there was a long
Yep.
extended range candle.
Yep.
Next candle, it closed and it went down, went back up. It had a very short upper wick on that candle. And then
The current one or the doji?
the doji.
Yep.
And that was my sign that this thing was going to go down, and it did. It went right down, but now look where it went right, bounced right up. So it wasn't taking any prisoners. Once it got down there, it was done.
So
Now,
that it is this is, again, what I was saying is that, I've really just gotten to start doing this myself, and you got to be quick. The key for me in doing this scalp trading is when you get in, make sure you really quickly set your stop loss so you're not, endangering your money. And then just I just don't even set it take profit off, and I just watch it and get out of it, because these happen so quick. As you could see, if I had done my normal lot size there, I would have made like $100 in literally 5 seconds.
yeah, but by the time you do all that calculations, a lot of times the move is over before you get everything all set up, unless you're really ready to go with your to modify your trade once you're in.
I'm 6 out of 7 with these quick 1 minute trades in the last 2 days.
And we're using the arrow as the generator.
Yep, that's why I did it. There's this was a class. This is, it's a 1 minute on an index, so it's not what we're all used to doing. But this was a bounce, arrow, go.
Yeah.
I actually went 1 candle later. And honestly, Al, if you hadn't liked it, I'm not sure I would have done it, but it worked out.
It did work out.
Okay, well,
yeah, so there's a couple
we're
things.
not touching that again until it comes back up.
Yeah, now there's a couple of things about this. Is that one, your moving averages are in the right direction. You got the slower, the 200 is above the arrow moving average.
Right.
The arrow moving average was pointing down. The 200 was pointing down slightly, but not as aggressively. You had the arrow, and you also had the range. You had your $5 move to your green zone.
Right.
And once you get that stronger extended range candle, you get that first little pullback of that next little wick. And then when it closed, I mean, it went down, it kind of gave a little bit of it. But once you got the close, got those other wicks off to the left, right? Where you go to your left to where your cursor is, straight to the left on the red candle, right there, boom. Those are the wicks that once they got penetrated there, there's no wicks at all till it gets to the green zone.
Right. Right.
And so that's your move. That's your
there's your there's your profit right
there's
there.
your profit margin right there.
Yep.
And this probably, it looks like it has some more room to the downside. But it bounced right off of that, came back right up, gave you a little head fake. Everyone says, oh crap, they're just gonna stop you out. And now they're coming back in for another round of it. Yeah, those are real quick. One thing about it, if you go on these 1 minute charts and you just study price action analysis, you're doing the same thing on a 1 minute chart as what happens is on a higher time frame. It's just that your ranges are different.
Right.
But the price action is, but you can still read the charts much the same way.
Let's take a look at the NASDAQ here.
There goes the green zone just went away.
On the NAS it did?
Well, did you just change charts?
Oh yeah, I just changed to the NASDAQ.
Oh,
yes,
I said, wow, I didn't notice that you did that.
Yeah.
I said, wow, the green zone just went away like that. That's different.
So on the 1 minute here, we did not have a valid entry because we had an up arrow with no bounce off the resistance. It sort of bounced off the 200, which is not part of the rules. It's just an indication. And then we had this down arrow similar to the S&P, but no trade there. So there was a green zone down here too, Al, though. You are correct that there was a green zone. Let's see if it's still in the M5. Yeah, so there it is. Okay.
It's still there.
Yeah. So again, we gotta wait to see if these guys, is this the M1? Yeah. All right, well, a win's a win, even if it's a dollar win. Let's take a look at crypto. Not doing too much right now. Let's see, Bitcoin on the M5 is in an uptrend, of course. I gotta redraw my fibs at some point there, but not much happening there right now. Ethereum, which is my favorite. Similar. It's amazing how Bitcoin and Ethereum follow each other very closely. You see this last night, Al? Look at this. Some whale sold a whole lot of Ethereum last night. Just cleaning up the Q&A here.
So to talk without my mic on.
Oh, there you are. I was wondering. I thought you disappeared on me.
No, I had a little coughing spell, so I decided to not save everybody the. Yeah, if you hear me go silent, that's because I turned my mic off.
Yeah. Or your earbuds ran out of battery power, right?
Well, actually, not today. I'm on my. I'm back on my desktop.
Oh, you're back. You're back on your main
back
machine
on
today.
my command station.
How many monitors do you have, Al?
I've got 6 of them.
Wow, I got 3.
And I use every one of them.
Yeah, I could see it.
Especially when I'm doing
I
the
have
calls.
3. I have 3, and on one of them I have like 3 things, sort of sideline things. But
yeah, well, I have 6, and I usually have doubles on a couple of them. So double.
Yep.
So yeah, especially when I do the calls, and that's like I've got all kinds of things open, so I can be looking at different things at a time.
Right.
It's really hard on the laptop. But I'm getting better with it. I had a little practice last week.
All right. Well,
Now, you see how that RSI, that one thing to take note, see how that RSI is right there in the middle between that 40-60 range.
Yeah.
This is in the middle of that. There's not a lot of real strong direction either way. Once it breaks out of that 40s range to the downside or the 60 range to the upside, that's when you can know that you've got a little bit of wind to your back to get the trade going in the direction that you're looking at doing.
Yep. Yep. Again, I know that Jackie often will look for a hook if we're gonna short it. A hook,
Yep.
A downward hook under the 40 is a good sign that it's time to get into a trade. Obviously, right now we're heading back. We want to head back up here before we have any opportunity to go short. Definitely don't want to counter trend trade the indices like this on a 1 minute. Someone's asking me about my arrows. So I have fractals on my charts. Someone's asking the question about those yellow arrows. So these are just the fractals, which indicate it's a 5 candle formation that indicate a change in direction of price. So as an example, if we zoom in here a little bit, you can see like this fractal right here. So you have 1, 2, 3 candles that are all going up, and then 1, 2 candles after that both were lower. So a fractal, you'll see an arrow appear when this candle right after it closes below this one, and then it's confirmed by the 5th candle, this one ending closing lower than the previous candle. It can be a useful tool in certain circumstances. I think it's been getting a lot of talk around the circles here lately, and I've seen some interesting things with them, but it's certainly not something to be 100% reliant on. It just gives you again, an indication of price trend change.
Yeah, it's not considered a strategy.
Right.
At least not at this point in time.
Yeah.
Not saying that may not develop into that, but for right now, it's just more of a take notice of this, and maybe it will, maybe it won't.
Right. Yeah. I've definitely observed some interesting things with fractals that are in the zones. But again, it's more of just a confirmation of something with the arrow than anything else.
It's just good to just use it as another odd enhancer to the having the odds in your favor of taking the trades.
Yep.
And I usually like to have at least 3 of them in my favor. One, I like moving averages in my direction. I like having the overall trend in my direction. And I also like having the price action and trend lines in my direction. And usually those 3, and anything else on top of that is all gravy as far as helping me do. Some trades are a little bit more iffy than others. It may just be the deciding factors of whether or not I'll take the trade or just pass on it.
I do see a couple people online took that S&P with me.
I know I did not.
Good job. Yeah, I had a couple winners. Somebody actually had an arrow 1 candle before me and got 21 pips out of it. That's awesome, Ashley. Those are fun if they work. Just again, make sure the first thing you do when you get into those is just quickly drag up your stop loss to protect your downside, because those things can change in an instasecond.
And Curtis asked how to add the fractals onto your, do you want to go through that real quick?
Yep, sure. So if you go here, let me just, I'll go back to the S&P here chart. So to add fractal, you just go to Insert, Indicators, down to Bill Williams, and you see fractals right there. You just click on that. I already have it, but if you click on it, it'll bring up a little box here, and you can change the color. The default is gray. I changed mine to yellow because it's a little easier to see. And then you just hit OK, and you're good to go.
And Cheryl, you were talking about, it looks like the money zone is what I think she's talking about, where she's not seeing the money zone in the that shaded area that the money zone is. She sees the red bands and the green bands, but it should be, you should have a little grayed out area. It should be there.
Like right, and again, you got to keep in mind, it depends on, and I don't know, Cheryl, maybe you just have an issue, but like look at my chart right now. I'm on the 1 minute. So the money zone, you're kind of not gonna be able to distinguish it because the entire chart is inside the money zone right now. If I go to, like, say, the 1 hour, then you can see the money zone. So confirm, first of all, that when you go out to a higher time frame that you're not seeing them. If you're not seeing them at all, then you might try to just reload. I don't know, Cheryl, if you have AIRO version 4 loaded, but I would maybe try to just reload it. Like,
that's what I would suggest you do.
Yeah, if you go here, if you're going to do this, you can go here to indicators list and go to AIRO 4 and just delete it, and then bring it back in and see if that clears up that issue. I'm hoping S&P goes back up to that resistance, Al, so I can get another scalp trade here, but slow again now. So is the M1 still flying? Yeah. Oh, that's a good sign. So now we have a buy, which is a bounce. Okay, so we have a bounce going the other way on the S&P 1 minute right now. I will not, as of yet, take a trade going against the trend on a 1 minute for sure, especially with the AIRO MA below the 200. And we can see it's already bouncing back at us here. Might see a fractal appear here in a sec.
You can see it's relatively range bound. You could maybe draw a Fibonacci retracement on that red fractal and then the green fractal and see how far it retraced back to the down, pulled back.
On the 1 minute?
Oh, you're on the 1 minute? Oh, that's why you're on. Yeah, I wouldn't probably do it on the 1 minute. I mean,
like maybe on the 5 minute here?
But even that, no, well, I wouldn't even worry about with that.
Yeah.
Actually, if it
But-
did, it's already played it out. But I mean, you could do it in 1 minute, but it's you're making lower highs and lower lows with a
Right.
pullback.
Yeah, this is very similar to what we were dealing with yesterday. If I just go, let's go. If we go back to yesterday during this time, you can see. So it was right in here, I think, Yasha. You see we had similar kind of, up and down movement in here. This is where we were yesterday, doing similar trades on the S&P. Few arrows here and there.
Gentlemen,
He's
You're
back.
back.
I'm back.
You missed it. We did one super quick 20-second scalp on the S&P.
Did you take a buy?
It was a sell.
Okay. Was
a
it the
sell, and
second?
I needed Al to pat me on the back and tell me it was okay, and I did it.
Oh,
Very small lot size. It was right here. This downward arrow right here, Matt. We had
let me check. Let me check. What do you got here? Where?
Are you looking at my
oh.
screen?
Yeah, I am.
So this arrow right here.
Yeah, that's the one I thought. Okay, got it.
Yeah, we had a doji, and I hesitated, but then I got in with just a micro lot size, just to play it out. But I got in on this one, and you can see
Well,
we had
you had the fractal.
Yeah, right there, right. There's a lot of good confirmation. Well, right. The crazy thing too, though, with the 1 minute, you just got to act so fast. So I got in on this candle, and you see we had a big dip, and I got out immediately, like literally 20 seconds. Got like.
Yeah, look for another one, guys. Look for a potential another one, because
yeah, that's what I'm watching. So we're already back. We're back up here where it could bounce again for us and create another opportunity.
Yeah, you got a nice trend line there too. But if that breaks that trend line, then we're gonna start looking for potential buys.
Yep. Or sell. Oh yeah, right. But
yeah, like if it breaks.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what? It's gonna break. It's gonna go right into that zone.
Yeah. Yeah. What I'm looking for is for this to bounce off the zone and come back down for another quick.
I don't
short.
think it's gonna do it for a while.
We'll see. Look at these two over here. This is the 1 minute.
I think it's making a higher high. Let's see what's up.
Yeah, see, it's bouncing off it. We'll see. Yep. So Matt, you still have all the Forex pairs open on your screen?
I do.
Okay. I closed a few just so we're monitoring all of the pairs in case there's a traditional bag entry anywhere. Shelly, Matt just wants to talk a little bit about higher highs or higher lows and sort of what that represents.
Oh, for sure. Visual representation is going to be your best friend in this case. I'm just going to set my little guy up with something to watch so that he.
So Shelly, like as we're looking at this chart right now, so we had a low here, we had a higher low here and here, higher lows here, and this one's still higher, but we have a higher high here right now. So whether or not that means we are now trending up is the question, although we're getting a fractal to push us back down now. So let's see what happens. Again, 1 minute moves so fast. So if this starts to move down and our down back, we may have another opportunity here.
This is really cool. Oh, we did get the arrow like we were looking for. And then you were hesitant and you waited for Al to confirm. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, over here.
We called that arrow out. We knew it was coming.
Oh, I know. You called it out before you left. That's why I was telling you. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And look,
Yep.
it's setting up very similar.
Yep.
From last time.
Yeah.
We had an up arrow. We had an up arrow here, and now we had this up arrow here. Went up and tested the resistance. Got a fractal, and now it's plowing back down.
My only concern is if you look to the left, you've got like go right a little bit, left down. Yeah, that low.
Mm-hmm.
No, on the right. On the right more. That like, yeah, right there. So see that low, and then you have a higher low.
Yeah,
was our most recent low, and then you have like this zigzag correction formation that's forming.
Look at this move though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
so
again,
right,
we're just trying to, we're gonna be in and out in literally 10 seconds if it goes, but yeah, so that really tested it right there. There's your new higher low potentially.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm leaning more towards the upside.
Yeah.
It's because now we're higher low, and we got it's consolidating, but
yeah,
it just looks like, to me at least, this could be a potential buy setup, but we don't have the arrow, and it would be counter everything arrow.
I had that line there because that was a support zone for a higher time frame prior to this support zone.
Okay. So Shelly, did that kind of answer your question, or was that a little too vague? Maybe I can give me a second. I'm going to try something.
We may get a downward arrow right here in a second.
You know what? That would be interesting.
Whoa, look at this. It's getting too low though.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't take it at this, at like where it's at, because it looks like it's so that move up on, so the powerful thing about Fibonacci is that it's fractal. So whatever you do at a higher time frame, you can do it at a lower time frame. So if you put a Fibo from the bottom of that most recent run
down here,
no, not all the way down there, even to the right more, right there, you go from the bottom to the top, and you'll see where that retracement comes into play, because that's actually pretty deep. That's over 61.8, I think. That's 62. Yeah, so it broke 62. So it looks like it might continue coming down then.
Yes, it's whether we get an arrow, but I mean, this is almost identical to the last one, but I agree with you whether or not, how far down will it go this time? Because if it's going to continue to have higher lows, then, the profit margin's not going to be there. It could not, you're thinking it might bounce off the 79?
It might, but I like my trend line a little bit better. And maybe I'll share my screen. How about that? Just
want to do that?
Yeah. I'll show you what I got. Maybe it'll bring a little bit of clarity to what I saw. So here, this is my wedge that I drew on the 1 minute chart. Okay, guys, I did break that wick because I didn't like it. And I drew it over here, which is interesting. So this structure I drew at this point here. I didn't have all this. So this is where the stick was drawn. So it broke out to the top. Now we're back down. It did breach the wedge a little bit, and that's a violation. But what I want you to notice is how strong this trend line is, where it's bouncing, it's identifying, it knows where this trend line is. Price knows where this line is. You see that bounce?
Yep.
It knows exactly where that line is. It's not random. See? And the reason why I knew is because you have this here, you have this here. If I wanted to adjust it just a hair, because this is going to make a little bit more sense. Look at that. Look at those bounces, guys. So that's where you can start adding layers to your repertoire, because these trend lines can help you get into these scalp trades. But this is why I was concerned, and I didn't want to go short.
Hey, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to cut you off, but
You're good.
we're waiting for an up arrow on odd Swiss.
Yeah.
And we have it right now. It's still viable. It is an absolute valid bag entry.
Okay.
With nothing above. I did mark that there's some resistance on a higher time frame chart, but take a look at Aussie Swiss. It may be a good entry point.
Let's go check this out. So I am not opposed to looking at anything. So let's see. Uh-oh. One of the goobers just woke up. Just a sec here. Let's see. You said Aussie Swiss?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, the only thing I've noticed is on the M5, there's a resistance there that you're going to have to fight through. But on the M15, it looks pretty solid.
Let's see what we got here. Really? Again?
Just hit 50, go to 5 and back to 15. That usually resolves it. That's crazy.
That is weird, man. That should not be the case. Oh yeah, look at that.
Yep.
Look at this, my friends. So you got clear skies to the north. There's no zone here for me.
Yeah, like I said, if you go to the M5 real quick, there is a zone.
Yeah, but that's a top.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, are you thankful you didn't take the S&P short, my friend? It bounced. She bounced on the trend line, and she's going to make a higher high.
Yep. And you called that one, my friend.
No, but I'm thinking we might have a. This is not AIRO though, so I don't want to. I'm tempted. I'm tempted to look at a buy, but because now we're counter trend.
So what do you think of this Aussie Swiss?
Okay, Aussie Swiss. Just give me 30 seconds. I'm gonna go check what I see on mine.
I'm liking it as a long, but I think we may want to make sure that see if it's going to break out the top of that last wick that we see on the. There's a big strong move down, and it's coming back to retest that area. If we can break through the top of that, then we may have something.
Oh yeah, this is nice. I'm taking that long.
Aussie Swiss?
Yeah, Aussie Swiss.
So I would like to have called it on the pullback rather than where it is right now.
Oh yeah, no, you're fine. If
but I see what you're saying.
Look at the one thing that I'm looking at here. Like look at back on AIRO, Matt. The last couple days, the average daily range. I mean, the range has been right where it's at. It just hasn't been moving at all.
Oh yeah, we're at the top of the zone here. We're at the top. But oh man, I need to give him a pacifier. Hold on. Yeah. But yeah, we are at the top of the zone. I think you're right though, Al. I'm just kind of excited about the setup because I do see some potential, and I'm just gonna draw it up here just so that we're all on the same page.
I see the target of this is 72.50.
There's your pullback, Al. Oh
yeah,
no.
Yeah, we had the pullback. I say 72.50 would be the target on this one.
Just a sec.
The other question, guys, is trading this pair during the New York session.
Yeah.
You just don't have the same volatility, right, that you would.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't at all. So here this is your top that we're looking to break, and that's that zone. So if it does break, then you're looking at clear skies, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, give me a little bit. I need to give him a pacifier.
Yeah, I think this one's going to go. I think it's going to be worth taking the trade on this one. We get the, yeah, we had the bounce arrow. I think we're good with this one.
Would you, Al, would you look at this more as a swing trade? Or, I mean, I know we're looking at
No,
down
I'm just looking at
15,
this as a pretty much of a more of a breakout. I think that there's no zone where the Ed got the arrow, and it's got a lot of upward pressure to the upside, and the next target area is going to, if we can get, if this, I'm in this trade, let's just say that.
okay.
We do have that last 15-minute, well, it says a 4-hour wick there. It's got to get through the 72.40 area, could be a little bit of a problem, but I do think that we're not doing too bad with this one. I'm looking at the target of this one of being 72.50 to somewhere between 72.50 and 72.60 area.
Here, I'll share my screen. So Curtis, we're looking at Australian Swiss right now. I'll share my screen here. So here's your bounce arrow go. We were talking about a second ago before Matt had to step away. So Al, with something like this, I know you've already entered. Would you set like a limit order here? If it, if
Yeah,
it
I think that would be a valid way of doing it. And if I did the limit order, I'd want to see a close. I'd like to see a close above those wicks to the left, those top wicks there where those fractals are. Yeah, I'd like to see a close. This would be more like a pass and check type thing. I'd draw a line at the top of those wicks.
Yep.
And then if you get a close above that and comes back and retests pretty much where the arrow is, I say that would be a good pass, come back, recheck that zone. And if it goes real deep into the zone, you may want to rethink of that, this possibility, but it does have lots of pressure to the upside. And and right now the Aussie is on even like a 4-hour chart, the Aussie is the strongest against the weakest on a higher time frame. And go to even like and it's pretty much the same thing on even go down to a 1-hour chart. We have a nice 3-point spread on that. Aussie is right now the Swiss is the weakest on several different time frames.
This is one of the pairs that's killing me on Gearbox right now, actually.
Is that? So you needed to come up
yeah, I need a strong.
significantly.
I'm like a lot of people. I need a strong Swiss and a weak Canadian to get out of some of this drawdown on Gearbox.
Oosh.
Yeah, not looking to happen anytime soon either.
No, it'll wait a bit. It has its contingencies built in. You know, Gearbox is.
Okay, man, we are getting near the end of the week, so we might start getting to see some last minute pushes up, and then maybe get that retracement for the profit taking for the week.
That's true.
Friday is always an interesting day in that regard.
I'm going to pass it back to you, Matt. Okay.
Oh, I'm just I got a bottle. I'm just feeding the little guy, so I can't really use my mouse. Sorry, guys. Doing the daddy daycare.
Let's go back. I saw we had a buy on the S&P. Oh, look, it blew up that resistance there.
Yes, sirs. Look at this. So now you're in a pullback.
Yeah, it blew it up, and now it's retracing.
I'm gonna go on my S&P chart on TradingView. I want to see what if I can make up for that miss. Oh, look at that pullback. So there's a couple questions around the those red and green bands on my chart. That's just exponential moving average, just the 13 and the 62. When it crosses, it's a pretty powerful moving average. Been using it for the last 4 years. Sorry, 3 years. Romaine, you got a great question. Oh yeah, Aussie Swiss. Aussie Swiss. Did you guys? How
I
did you
didn't.
feel about that?
Yeah, we got it. Al, you're in it, right?
I am in it. Yep. They take a little bit of heat right now. It started off, it hooked up a little right at the top, and now it's giving me a little bit of heat, but I'm still okay with it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it plays out here.
I think it isn't basically an uptrend. We may have one more pullback before we actually we pretty much have that little pullback right now.
There is a good potential. You know what? If you were potentially considering entering the Aussie Swiss, this pullback might be the one that you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
This is going to put you in a better position than Al would be in.
Yep.
Because now you're going to make an extra 10 pips. Potentially. An extra 5 pips, sorry. This one, Aussie Swiss doesn't move as aggressively as the pound pairs or some of the other currencies. It likes to it has a lower ADR.
Yep.
This is a little bit what we were talking about, where as you have a gradual trend, and then it has that really strong trend that breaks the gradual trend and breaks the upside with a much steeper trend line.
Yes,
as
sir.
that last little push before it actually does reverse. This could be that little, no, this last little push that you look on the lower time frames might be that little sharper angled uptrend that I was talking about earlier this morning in the broadcast.
I like how it bounced off that purple moving average there. That's your 200, right?
Down here?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the 200. Yep.
Yeah, that's your 200. You see how the price respected it, and even on the 200 on the 15, it's broken above pretty clearly. So if you do have a 40 pip stop loss in this trade, it's probably going to put you somewhere underneath that moving average, right?
Yeah. For sure.
That
Like
gives you a couple,
right now,
and that gives you a couple barriers to work with.
Yeah, right now you'd be below the 200 and the support.
Yeah.
Right. So you got 2 potential stop losses, 3 actually. You could put it underneath your support zone.
Yeah.
Right. That's pretty good. You can put it underneath your 200, or you could actually use the 400 points, which is your stop.
Yeah, it's and the 400 is pretty close to just below the 200. The 200.
Oh, okay.
Average. But yeah, I'm kind of watching. I mean, it's looks like it's sort of bouncing up against the AIRO MA right now.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what's this.
Curtis was asking Al how far you go with this trade. You're just doing 20. You're shooting for 20 pips, right? 20-40.
Pretty much. Yeah, I might settle with 10 depending on how it works when it comes back. But right now, my initial target is basically 72.50 is what I'm looking at. So that's basically your 20. It's going to be roughly your 20 pips.
Yeah. So we got 12 pips. Back
And
up.
now if you get in a little bit of, I mean, right now we're having a little bit of a pullback, but right now you see no red zones above. And it just seems like it was a good, I think it was almost like a classic bounce arrow go on this one.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I would say she looks pretty good.
Yep.
We are taking, I mean, it's not unusual to take some heat on a pullback when you first get into the trade. And let's see, my point factor here. Yeah, right now it's basically pulled back about 10 pips, which is only 25% of what your stop is. So,
right, that's not significant.
No, a 10 pip swing is pretty normal anymore, to be honest with you.
Well, if you're in a 15-minute trade, that's actually pretty tight. You know, realistically, people are taking big stop losses generally. Like a 50, like this is not a big pullback.
The 10 pip stop loss is pretty much the average stop what we would use when we're doing the wedge trading now. We're going for 7 pips with a 10 to 15 pip stop. I like using 15. I usually like using 2 to 1, because these things trade in 7 pip increments, 7, 14, 21. And so I like having at least a 15 pip stop, even on a tight trade for a 7 pip target. I usually like using at least a 15 pip stop loss. And then I can take a significant larger lot size.
I'm interested to see how this is going to play out here at Aussie Swiss.
Yeah, I'll keep going back to it. I'm contemplating it still.
You're still looking for a bigger pullback then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just
so-
thinking it might be. I'm wondering if it's going to bounce off of support here one more time.
It could.
And this could give us, on a lower time frame, it could give us a little wedge break with a retest and even go lower down to the, I mean, it's possible this thing could go down to the 72.10 area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see it drop down there, 72.10. If it does. But if it does and the analysis still holds true, then that gives us a significantly better position,
Absolutely.
right? Like we're not.
And I wouldn't be opposed to taking another position down there to dollar cost average my position.
Oh,
Right.
no, not at all.
Well, you got on the 5-minute here, you got this this 200 here that might act as support, right?
Right. So we'll see what happens. Well, I mean, it's not a lot of pullback, guys, if you're not over leveraging your account. If you're over leveraging your account and your position size is too big for your account size, this is going to be a big pullback for you. Please understand that. Like, understand your position size and what you can take. If you took a 0.3 on a $100 account, then this
You're
is not right.
You're not going to be happy.
That's not the trade you want to be taking. Way over leveraged. We also need to keep in mind that we're coming up to the 11 o'clock hour. So
I don't think there's any more news events today, right? I think that it was just that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We're gonna probably have a fractal up here, right here.
at the bottom there, right? Look at that. Look at that bounce. Did that bounce on the 200? No. Okay.
On the 5, it probably did. Let's see. No, it didn't even get there.
No. Okay.
Nope.
Well, you got a fractal high up there in the zone,
Yeah, on the 5. Yep,
but that's not confirmed yet until that next candle closes. So
exactly. Now, I was saying on the 15 here, we'll have a fractal appear right here in 2 minutes, assuming the price doesn't shoot back up here, which would be nice if it did, Al.
Yes, it would be.
So, I'll just ask Matt now this question. So we're looking at this trade, and I haven't gotten in. It's obviously improved from a positional standpoint. At this point, to enter this trade, do you feel like that's chasing the trade or just getting in at a better entry point?
I think it's getting in at a better entry point.
yeah, I wouldn't say that this is chasing the trade because you're still at a better entry from where you were.
Right. If price had already jumped up to this yellow line or something,
Yes,
that would be
then you're
chasing
too
the
late.
trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're holding on to your seat waiting for something else to happen, it's not going to happen.
Right.
I just think this was a reasonably solid pullback on an uptrend.
Yeah. So
It just bounced right off my trend line that I drew on my chart.
Yeah, my only question and why I'm hesitating to get in is just how much more upward movement we're going to get out of this thing. I mean, if you look at,
Okay.
you know, it's not a pair that's traded too much
At
during
this
New York,
time.
you know, and the average daily range that, you know, if I look back, has been pretty short. So I just wonder how much we can get out of this.
Well,
Although
we're
getting in now, are we still 10 pips from that yellow line? We are, yeah, about 10 pips. So I think it's pretty
well,
high.
let's think. Everyone, guys, on the call, we got a great group of people. If for any reason you don't feel like this is a good trade for you, oh, please don't take it, guys.
Yep.
Don't take a trade just because someone else takes it. It's one of the worst things you can do, because you need to understand why you're in a trade and if it makes sense to you.
And keep in mind, that's what we say every day with the disclaimers. Don't trade because we
Right.
took the trade. That's not a recommendation to take it.
Right.
And let's reiterate that a little bit.
Right. You need to own your decisions that you take. Like we're fine taking certain trades but this is not the only trade we take in the day, right?
Well,
And sometimes it
is.
happens.
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes. But you know, hold on a sec. This little guy's not happy. Okay, there he is. He's on my lap. He was just loving this. But yeah, lost my train of thought.
Taking or not taking a trade.
Yeah, not taking a trade. Guys, it's not a big deal if you don't take the trade. You know, if you don't feel comfortable in a trade, don't come back and say, oh, well, they all said it was a great trade and it didn't work out. Not all the trades are going to work out. It's the reality of the Forex. If we knew how to take every trade successfully, well, you know what? I'd have my own little island and you probably wouldn't hear from me.
Well, just remember too, is that everybody has to learn and know that they have to own their trades. The trades that they take, they have to own it. You're in these rooms to gain knowledge, to gain some techniques, but you still have to trade your emotions. You still have to trade your risk levels, and your risk levels are going to be different than ours. So, but just whatever you decide to take, you have to own the trade. And that depends on whether you do a gearbox or a variable, or you're doing AIRO or whatever it is you're trading, or how you're trading. You have to make those decisions. You have some softwares that help. You have some techniques that help. But in the end, you have to own your trade.
It's a nice looking candle, Al.
Looks like a great looking candle, guys.
Yeah, it's still struggling a little bit to get back up to where it was.
No, but look at the wick, though, Al. Look at that big rejection wick. That's what we're looking at.
Yeah,
Man.
That's what
I'm looking at a little tighter time frame here, but yeah, you're right. That was.
This is the 15-minute.
Yeah. Well,
Oh no, he was on 5, maybe.
Actually, I'm actually looking at a 1.
So. Oh, okay. Yeah. Look at you. If it blows through that red zone, it's gonna go. So
here's the 1 minute for it. It's got a little fractal here right now. Look at that fractal right there, Matt. Bam.
Oof. That's pretty good, guys. That's a nice fractal low. Right into the support zone.
Bam. See that a lot.
Yeah. When it's in the support zone, I love those trades, guys. It's going to go 5 pips easily.
Yeah.
Just an observation. 5-10 pips. If you get a fractal low in a zone, in a support zone, it's going to go 5-10 pips.
Yeah.
I don't have the numbers on that yet, but I'm telling you, you can bet your bottom end on it, because look at the highs. Even you got a fractal high, and then boom, it's got to be in the zone though. That one doesn't qualify, but the one on the left
over here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, you got two charts. They're fuzzy.
Oh yeah, look at that. There you go.
Hey, Devor. How's my brother? It's been a very long time since I've seen you, man. Last time I saw you, we were in Miami on a yacht. Let's see here.
Ooh, you see that, Al?
Oh, fractal high in the zone, guys.
Well, we just the
Oh, it's not
significant-
confirmed.
No, that resistance just appeared though. We didn't have any resistance there, so that.
Oh, on the
So
15.
I hate to say it out loud, but when you see that, right, Al, that might be a reason to not be in the trade anymore.
Yeah. What do you think, guys?
Because that just appeared. Al, if you're talking, you're muted. Maybe you did it on purpose.
Maybe he's like, you know what? I'm not talking to you guys anymore.
Yes.